Shalom, family.
Shalom.
The question is, are we Egyptologists? Well, in order to answer that question, let's first look at what an Egyptologist is. Okay? Let's go to the definition.
Okay, Egyptology is merely the study of ancient Egyptian history, language, literature, religion, architecture, and all of that. You see, that's what Egyptology is.
So basically, a person that if he studies their history, he's an Egyptologist. Like Romanology is the study of Romania and its people. So if a person studies those things, that means that's what they are.
Greekology.
That's right, Greekology.
For that matter, anthropology is the study of humans and human history and their development.
That's right.
The reason we are covering this is because we get a lot of people who are spreading information saying that we are Egyptologists, trying to cast deception as if we're trying to get our people to worship false gods.
That's
now, we know that the people that are doing this, they know that that is not what we're doing. They know that. But there's a devilish nature that a lot of our people have, especially those who call themselves Hebrew Israelites. There's a very devilish nature, and these people know that we're not trying to get our people to serve Ra or Amun-Ra or any Egyptian deity. We're not trying to get them to do that at all.
It's the same thing that happened in what the Spirit said in Revelations. That he saw some in the assemblies. They had the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block in front of Yah's people. That's really what's going on. It's to cast a stumbling block. Okay, we are historians. We study history. I went to school for history. Okay, we study Roman history. We study Greek history. We study Egyptian history. If you have a Bible, there's history. Egyptian history is where? In your Bible even, right? I studied Christian history. We study all of these histories. Been doing it for more than 20 years.
Hebrew history.
That's right, Hebrew history.
You see, and so again, the people that are doing this, you are actually casting stumbling blocks before Yah's people. We are not casting stumbling blocks because anyone who studies the Bible, we were enslaved in Egypt. Okay? The Romans were ruling over us at one time. The Greeks were a thorn in our sides. The Canaanites. If you study the Bible, you are studying all of these people. And one thing that many of you who are trying to say that we're Egyptologists in a negative way, because based on the definition of Egyptology, you would say that anyone who studies the Bible would be Egyptologist, a Romanologist, a Greekologist, Hebrewism, all of that. If you study the Bible, see, the problem is a lot of so-called Hebrew Israelites that are teachers, not all, because there are a lot of brothers out here who teach a lot of this stuff, and they are well-versed in Bible history. You see, they know a lot of these things, but those who are trying to cast a stumbling block by trying to say that we are trying to teach our people something evil, these are people who are probably very surface knowledge people in the Bible, where they're dealing with the 66 books, and they're just basically dealing with the ordinances of being a Hebrew, and they don't study history. They're fearful.
They're very fearful. So when you say something about, for instance, we did a video about the third eye, right? So they're going to get the clip, or showing, when we show an image in the video, we show the image of a third eye, and here you see me holding up an image of a third eye. So right away, but they don't go into tell you what exactly we said about the third eye or the pineal gland. And so we tell you all, hey, if you're concerned, go and look at the video that we did on the pineal gland versus the third eye. Go and look at the video yourself. Find out exactly what we said, instead of thinking that we're going around teaching some Egyptian doctrines. Okay, let me say this once and for all. Okay, so you know, understand what I'm saying here. Okay, we do not worship the gods of Egypt.
No.
Okay, nor do we teach the doctrines of Egypt. Okay, this isn't what we do. Now, we study history of Egypt. Why? So that we can be effective teachers. because Moses came out of Egypt. Right. We came out of Egypt. Matter of fact, we were delivered to Egypt again in ships, right? Which is here. So you got to know something about Egypt,
yes,
right?
Yes. And if you call yourself a teacher, then you should study Egyptian history as well.
That's right.
If you're teaching from the Bible, because it's all throughout the Bible.
That's right.
And like I said before, these people know this. They are just trying to cast stumbling blocks, and the Most High is going to get you for that, because we are trying to teach His people, you see. And you don't want to be a person who's just so busy trying to derail someone's ministry to the point where you are getting in the way of what Yah is trying to do. If you have a message to bring your message. Yeah. All of this trying to derail someone's ministry, there's a spirit of envy and jealousy and strife and bitterness that is inbred in the hearts of our people.
That's what fuels a lot of it. Yeah.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with the Ruach HaKodesh leading you to do the things that you are doing, because, like I said, you all know that we are not teaching our people to follow after Egyptian gods. We are not a part of the Illuminati. As a matter of fact, there was another brother, very nice brother, awesome teachings. I'm not going to call his name, but he recently did a video too where he was rebuking people for saying that he was involved in the Illuminati. He said, I don't care nothing about no Illuminati. He says, you're looking at my hand gestures. A lot of our people waste time, and you're actually causing others to stumble because you are wasting time. Like, look at my hands now. Someone can take that and say that, look, see, Illuminati. You see, and it's a big waste of time to be taking screenshots and little snippets and 2-second clips from someone's video and saying that they are worshiping Egyptian gods. Like we said, if someone is telling you that we're Egyptologists and they're telling you that we're teaching you about Egypt gods and all of this different stuff, go to the video that they're talking about and hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Because when you look at someone's 2-second or 3-second sound bite or someone's 3-minute explanation about what we're teaching, and we got the full teaching online, you can hear the conclusion of the whole matter for yourself, instead of saying, see, this brother brought it out. He really brought it out. He just proved that they're Egyptologists based on the 2-second sound bite. And based on the definition of Egyptologist, anyone who studies Egyptian history would be considered an Egyptologist. Anyone who studies Roman history, a Romanologist, Greekologist, Hebrewism. If you study the Canaanites, I mean, how far back does it go? How many nationalities do we have to go to determine that we're just studying the history? Anthropology.
That's right.
And studying all this. In case you didn't notice, we do documentaries.
That's right.
And when we do these documentaries, we have to research for hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months. This is why we put so much time into what we're doing, because we have to study these things. We have to cross-reference and do this and that, and it takes time. Now, if you're just one who wants to read your Torah, your 5 books, or even if you read the rest of it, your 66 books, and you just want to deal with that, more power to you. But when we put these documentaries together, we have to study. And my husband and I have been studying these things for years.
Yes.
We have been studying these things for years because this is what we are interested in. Even before we found out who we were, my husband has notes from 20 or more years ago, from when I met him, before I met him, should I say, of studies that he has done on Roman history, Greek history, Egyptian history. This is how long this man has been studying. Yeah,
I've been studying the history of Egypt for a long time. Let me explain something to you, right? Now, let's just say you come up against someone who doesn't believe in the scriptures at all, and his reason for debunking the scriptures is he comes to you and he says, well, the so-called Messiah and his mother was actually a part of our Egyptian history. And he's one of them Kemet believers, right? And you don't know nothing about Egyptian history. How you gonna even defend yourself against a person like that? How you go? Now I've watched some of the people debate against, what's the guy, Polite. I've watched them debate against them, and because they don't have enough knowledge in Egypt, in the study of Egypt, in the history of Egypt, that's why Polite was looking like he was getting the better of them, because they don't understand in what they believe and how to deal with questions and answering those things, dealing with Egyptology, the study of Egyptian history.
Exactly.
So how are you going to deal with these people? You better know something about Egyptian history. You understand?
So instead of believing that you have some deep revelation that you're exposing about us, oh, they're Egyptologists.
Yes.
You didn't even know what Egyptologists were and what it was all about. Because if you did, it's no point in even bringing these things out. Like we said, if anyone has questions about our videos where we're talking about the pineal gland and the connection with the third eye. The third eye is what the Egyptians call the pineal gland.
Exactly.
There's nothing deep or any deep revelation about that. Right. And like we said, anyone who has questions about that, you are free to look at our whole video. It is there.
That's right.
And a 2-minute soundbite from someone else trying to explain what we're teaching, where we took more than an hour, possibly even 2. I mean, instead of looking at their 2-second, 2-minute soundbite, you can just see what we're teaching for yourself and not enter into error, because again, there is work to be done in the kingdom of the Yah. And when you are trying to cast a stumbling block before other ministries, you're actually exposing what's in your heart. You're exposing what is in your heart, and you are causing other people to stumble. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
That's right.
You see, if you want to know what we believe, you can look at the video for yourself. But looking at little snapshots that others are putting up and spreading information. There was even someone sent us a link. As a matter of fact, I don't know if it was the person themselves or if someone else in it, but they were saying that they saw a reptilian running in our house.
Running in our house right behind us.
They freeze framed the image. But when you go to our actual video, this was our 3-year-old walking behind us. But you have these so-called self-righteous Hebrew Israelites spreading false witnesses and false lies and deception and causing people to sin. You are casting stumbling blocks before Yah's people and causing them to sin. You're distorting videos, saying that you saw a reptilian running in our video, and it was our child. It was our 3-year-old daughter walking behind us.
And she don't look like no lizard either. So
we even turned around and looked at her.
Yeah.
But because you took just enough of the video and you slowed it down and you distorted things, it's like you are you are sinning, you are breaking Torah, and you are causing other people to sin, and you are causing others to be partakers of your sin.
Right.
And those who partake in this foolishness that these Hebrew Israelites are putting out, you are actually inviting Yah to come and judge you for the things that you are doing.
That's right. You're a partaker of their sin. That's right.
You are spreading
if you hear it and you even listen to it, that's what the scripture says. So.
Yes. And so based on the statements, people are trying to say that we're spreading or encouraging people to worship Egyptian gods. We're not doing that, and you know we're not.
That's right.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you. But we do study Egyptian history, Roman history, Greek history, Bible history. All of that is in the Bible.
Even the study of we study Christianity, right? The history of Christianity. That make us Christians because we study the history of Christianity? Of course not. I study the history of the Chinese and other nationalities too. Does that make me a Chinese because I study their history? Right?
We're not pushing any of their doctrines. We're not telling people to worship Buddha or any of that.
Nope.
All we are doing is we research these things because of the documentaries that we produce.
That's right.
And like I said before, you know that. You are just trying to spread folly. And for that, the Most High sees your heart. He sees your heart, and you will have to deal with the issues of your heart. Out of the heart comes forth the issues of life. So in your heart, you have this thing that you need to deal with, trying to spread false witness testimonies and lies about this ministry. Whether people want to believe it or not, and you know who you are. The Most High has awakened a lot of his children around the world through this ministry, through so many other ministries, and there are people waking up all the time, every day. They're excited about their heritage. And when you try to hinder someone who is doing the work, when you try to hinder someone who's doing the work, you are actually trying to hinder the move of Yah. This has nothing to do with us. You see, those of us who are out here doing the work, like I said, there are many others too who are actually helping to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And when you try to hinder that work, you are standing in Yah's way.
That's
and
right.
if you stand in Yah's way, he will do something to move you out of the way.
That's right.
That includes us. Look at Jonah. Jonah tried to stand in Yah's way.
Yeah.
And he was the one who Yah was doing the work through.
Yes.
So we would just like to caution you, if you just have something in your heart against us personally, that is something you're going to have to deal with Yah, because we are not teaching our people to serve Egyptian gods.
That's right.
You see?
That's right. Well, I hope we cleared that up. Okay.
Yes.
So on that note, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom, family.